Hey guys, Ken here from the Retro Horoscopes channel in Malaysia. Today on the channel, I'm taking a look at another mini-comic review from Masters of the Universe. This is the tale of the Lost Legend. Now, I would say that this title is fairly appropriate, Lost Legend, because this is the title of the mini-comic that comes packaged together with the MOTU Origins exclusive Wun-Dar action figure. That's right, that guy. And there's many out there who describe the end result of the nerve-wracking quest to obtain this figure. The end result is that he's still pretty much a lost legend. That's right, from the 1980s until today, his mythical status is still in check. But why dwell on such matters? Let's get into the mini-comic. So the story begins all the way back in ancient Eternia. It says here that this is Savage Eternia 100 years before the birth of Prince Adam. So they've set up the timeline. Okay, and we zero in on the underground savage city of Tandaria, where people appear to be living in straw homes, huts, and it appears to be a time of peace. It says here, thanks to the warrior, Wun-Dar. Now, Wun-Dar is in one of the huts enjoying what appears to be bread. Okay, it says here, sliced bread is the greatest thing and shall be for a long, long time. This obviously being a reference to the whole Wonder Bread drama from the 80s, where the original Wun-Dar was supposed to be included with a promotion with a bread brand called Wonder Bread. I don't know, man. I was around as a kid in the 80s, but this is all happening somewhere else in the world, like in the US, and I only found out about the tantalizing details years later. Anyway, as far as references go, this one is like pretty much on the nose. Okay, I mean, there's a subtle reference and then there's references that are on the nose. This one is pretty much like they took the slice of bread and they plastered it straight on your nose. Anyway, a cry for help soon erupts through the night. And then Wun-Dar races to action and finds a beautiful, attractive young girl. She's being set upon by these horrid green skeleton warriors. These are the same skeleton warriors that have been on the packaging artwork for several of the MOTU Origins figures to date. Castle Grayskull, the Eternian Palace Cast set, I believe, as well. I've not reviewed that one actually. Anyway, these guys, okay, who are only packaging stars, now appear in full form in this mini comic for the first time. So Wun-Dar tears into them, just smashing into them, just like the way that Ash smashed into those deadites in Army of Darkness, shattering them. And he saves the girl and he introduces himself, and the girl says that her name is Sharella and that she's lost her way. Now, if this was a Conan comic book, you know that these two would be shacking up in the hut right now, like within 10 minutes of knowing each other, okay? But, Wun-Dar is being a real gentleman about it, and he takes a look at this map that Sharella gives to him, and it appears to be a map of some kind of mountain terrain, and he just says that he'll help her. He agrees to help her. He's being a total gentleman, and he's also straight to business, no time to waste. He wants to find out what's going on. Why are they like green skeleton warriors attacking his village? And they're off, all right? The two of them begin their quest to find out what's happening in this mountain area. Along the way, they encounter vicious beasts like this tiger creature that's seen attacking them. It's attacking them, and the next thing you know, it's cooked meat, okay? And both of them are enjoying the meat of this tiger. I guess Wun-Dar ran out of sliced bread. There's a scene here where Sharella is seen enjoying the meat of the tiger. She's biting into it, and then she's staring at Wun-Dar, and she's thinking to herself, she says, he does show potential. Potential for what? I mean, she's checking him out. I mean, is he supposed to be like husband material? Just a companion, a partner for the night? What is she talking about? But next thing you know, she's laid out, just sleeping off the delicious animal meat that she just enjoyed, and Wun-Dar is standing guard over her. Wun-Dar is standing guard through the night. He's not going to let anything happen to her. But then he starts to nod off for a bit and almost falls asleep. But that's understandable, okay? I kind of feel sleepy too after enjoying a fine meal of delicious meat. He wakes up to hear the sounds of Sharella screaming and surrounded by the green skeleton warriors again. What are they up to, okay? I mean, where did they come from? All right, were they like trailing them? Did they just pop out from under the ground? But they're there. And Wun-Dar just straight up asks them, why have you come? Who is your master? But there's no reply. They just hiss at him. They go like, and then suddenly, all of a sudden, there's like these tentacle branch-like things that just come out of nowhere and swat the skeleton warriors, just swat them aside, allowing Sharella to break free from their grip, run towards Wun-Dar, and Wun-Dar's like, another monster? But then we see the face of a familiar friend, one of the most often requested action figures in Origins. Mossman. He goes, my name is Mossman, and this has been my forest for a long, long time. And so I guess it's Secret Origins time as we find out that Mossman's been walking around since the days of Savage Eternia. But I guess that's also to be expected in a way. He's kind of like an elemental force, right? But no kidding, I always see in the comment section people asking about where the hell's the Mossman figure from Origins. I guess he's got a lot of fans out there for sure, but they have given us a Mossman in Revelation, okay, for the Masterverse line. There has been a Mossman there, a pretty great looking figure, I would say. Why haven't I reviewed him actually, come to think of it? And also based on the coverage that we got from STCC, we saw that there's a pretty great looking Mossman figure coming up from the next season of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, the show that's on Netflix. Yeah, that figure looks pretty good, I gotta say. But there's been no Mossman in Origins so far. I guess he's coming and his appearance in this mini-comic alludes to that. But I guess when it comes to Origins, maybe they just haven't worked out the right mechanism of release, because you know that he's going to be most likely an exclusive because he's flocked, okay? So brace yourselves. By the way, regular readers of the new MOTU Origins mini-comics might think that the final panel earlier where Mossman introduced himself was the last page of the comic. That's because MOTU mini-comics only typically run for 6 pages, but this one keeps on going. Okay, there's actually more story pages in this one. Wun-Dar then tells Mossman that they need passage to the Mystic Mountains, but Mossman's just busy fiddling around with the decapitated skull of one of the skeleton warriors, and then he fishes out this pendant, okay, that was apparently around the skull's neck. The pendant appears to have an image of mountaintops, seemingly that of the Mystic Mountains. So it seems that, fate has led them this way, okay? And then they travel together, and then it says many days later. Wow, what did they talk about for such a long journey? All 3 of them. So they reach the Mystic Mountains, and Wun-Dar thanks Mossman, and it appears that they go their separate ways, okay? Because Mossman says, and now your true journey begins. May Grayskull protect you, and they wave at each other, but why? Okay, why separate? Why not travel together? Why not find out what these people whom you've been traveling with for days, okay, why not find out what's going to happen to them? Why not help each other out? Okay, look, anyway, Wun-Dar and Sharella scale up the mountain, and they reach an opening which apparently has an image of the pendant, the same image that was on the pendant. That image is actually there at the doorway to this entrance of a cave of sorts, and they go inside, and what's waiting for them? There's just something stalking them there in the dark, and it turns out to be this one-eyed Cyclops, and the Cyclops is all like, rah! And I'm not really sure, but has this particular Cyclops-looking monster, this purple Cyclops monster, has it actually appeared before in MOTU mythology? It may have. It seems familiar. Maybe you could just drop me a comment, roast me if you need to, okay? Because I can't, seem to remember who this character is, if he's actually turned up before this. Okay, and then the Cyclops just tears into Wun-Dar, hurling him against a wall with seemingly just the force of his roar and his breath, okay? Right? Just roars at Wun-Dar, sending him, hurtling towards the wall of the cave, and his spear shatters, and then, he just goes, I need something to defeat that monster, when suddenly, out of nowhere, it's like this weapons package appears in mid-air in front of him. And then we see this Cyclops monster about to rip into Sharella. And she actually goes, be you God or demon, I demand you stand back. It's first sign that something's not quite right here, because, all this time, Sharella has been pictured as a damsel in distress, always quickly overcome by the enemy and always calling out for help from Wun-Dar. But this time she's standing her ground, and then you see that a laser blast of some kind, just shoots out and hits the Cyclops square in his chest. Okay, just and you know what? The next panel, we just see Wun-Dar holding up this like laser type gun device, And it's the first sign of any kind of like high-tech technology, okay, in this world so far. And then he just goes, "You hurt the girl." And in fact, that's the last we actually even see of that Cyclops monster. That one blast to its chest, and he's just gone, okay, from all the remaining panels. Wun-Dar now is fully redecorated in all new garments. He's got all new black chest armor. He's holding onto that laser pistol exactly the way that he appears in that Mattel Creations exclusive that you don't have yet. Okay, that I don't have yet either. Okay, and then a magical transformation takes place. Suddenly, the girl known as Sharella transforms into the Green Goddess. Alright, turns out it was a ruse all along. She explains to Wun-Dar that she has been searching the lands for one worthy of the power to wield ancient weapons such as the ones that he just received. So that laser weapon is an ancient weapon. It kind of looks futuristic though. Okay, but the reason for this is apparently because a dark evil has returned to Eternia. And the only hint that we have of this is the fact that she's holding on to what appears to be the head of a ram. Okay, like the head of a ram staff, like a purple ram staff. You guys know what I'm talking about? But actually, is this just like in this picture here? Is it like an image that she conjured up of the purple ram staff head, or is it the actual thing? Because where did she keep it like this whole time? All right, I mean, where was it on her? Anyway, she tells Wun-Dar that he is the chosen one and that he has the power. And the final words, of Wun-Dar are the power. I have the power. Now I have to say that Wun-Dar's reaction is actually pretty relaxed for someone who just found out he'd been deceived, okay? Instead of going, "Witch, I was enjoying a slice of bread before you started all this," he just appears to be really calm about everything. Well, he's got the power, okay? He's got the magic gifts, and he's got a lot of things to do now, apparently, as Eternia's protector. Now, I've been doing a lot of these mini-comic reviews since last year until now. And when it comes to the mini-comics that come with the Origins figures, I've always said that it would be great if they actually added on the page count so that the stories could be fleshed out a little bit better. And it seems that in this case, they did. However, everything that happens in this story, for some reason, I kind of feel that it could have just been condensed into 6 pages. Okay, you don't actually need 10 pages to tell this particular story because nothing really happens. Okay, it's just a test of sorts in order for Wun-Dar to actually receive his gifts. And there's a lot of sequences in here that I feel were just padding, like the appearance of Mossman. It's a great Easter egg, and yeah, it's world building in the sense that you get the sense that Mossman was around during that time, but his appearance is actually unnecessary. Okay, for some reason they decided to add on the page count for a story that doesn't actually require it. Okay, anyway, that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you stayed on to the end, thank you. I'll catch you guys again real soon with more content here on the channel. Take care out there.